Good morning. A few days ago, I asked you the question, what is the source of your joy? And the last few days, I've been pointing out that we cannot let the source of our joy become the things in our lives, or the circumstances, or the relationships, or the people. Those can sometimes be a temporary source of joy, but they are not the source of joy. They are not the primary place we as Christ followers are to get our joy. And joy is a great thing. God wants us to have joy. See, and joy is different from happiness. Happiness is very temporary, it's fleeting. It is often based on circumstances and things and people. But joy is deeper. Joy comes from inside. Joy comes from God Himself. And today I want to dig in a little bit to this issue of enjoying God's blessings. You see, the word enjoy is rooted in the word joy. They're part of the same concept. Enjoy is our experience of joy. It's what happens in us. It's the awareness we have of the joy that we are experiencing. And so when we enjoy a thing, like a sunrise, or a baby's smile or laugh, or the embrace of a loved one, when we enjoy those things, we are, in a sense, participating in joy that God is passing on to us through the means of that thing. It's not wrong to enjoy things that God has given you. It's not wrong to enjoy relationships that are in your life. It's not wrong to enjoy the blessings of things you see in the world and experiences that you're able to have. There's nothing wrong with those things unless they are things that God has prohibited for some reason, like sexual relations outside of marriage, that kind of thing. And you see, the reason it's not wrong is because God, being the source of joy, gives us joy through all kinds of means. Now, ultimately, joy comes from Himself. In His presence is fullness of joy, Psalm 16:11 says. But He transmutes that joy to us, if you want to say it that way. He transmits it to us through various means sometimes. And here's how I understand it to work. Let me just pick a circumstance here. Say, well, just last week, my wife got back from a week-long trip to see her sister. And I was driving to the airport last week, and I was thinking about seeing her again, and I was looking forward to enjoying her company again. And then once I saw her, man, such a big hug and a kiss, and we enjoyed talking with each other in the car. We enjoyed each other. And that experience of joy is a blessing, a gift from God. And it is a means of Him demonstrating the joy that comes from Him through a variety of means. But when we turn our minds back toward God as the source of that thing, the source of that blessing, we are able then to, in a sense, move into His presence with an attitude of thanksgiving where we find fullness of joy. Do you see the difference? The experience with my wife is enjoyable. It is a joyful thing. But by itself, it's temporary. I'm not going to be in her presence all the time. I'm not going to have that same experience even being in her presence all the time. But when I do experience joy from something like that, or it could be something totally outside the realm of a relationship, like a food or an experience that you have, when I enjoy that, I'm able then to turn my mind, and I need to intentionally turn my mind to the giver of the experience, the giver of the thing, and move into His presence with thankfulness. And there I will experience fullness of joy because I will become enraptured with who He is and the generous way He cares for His own. So today, whatever is in your life today, whether it's a difficult situation or a challenging thing you have to face or a hard conversation, remember that in God's presence there is fullness of joy, and you as a follower of Christ are in His presence 24/7. Rest in Him today.